Peter Parker is web-slinging into the Cold War era. What will this mean for our hero? Well, let's hop into the pages of Spider-Man Life Story issue number 3 and find out for ourselves, shall we? Alrighty then, so when we last left our hero in the 70s, his relationship with Mary Jane was heating up. Now we find them a whole decade later, and MJ is giving birth. This is a taxing time for any person, but poor MJ has to do it alone. Worse still, she has to do it while taking care of an Aunt May whose mind is deteriorating because of old age. Where exactly is her husband, Peter Parker, right now? Well, Spider-Man has been called away to fight in the Secret Wars. You may have heard of them once or twice. In a story thread that continues to tie this entire series together, Peter talks about how he avoided the draft in Vietnam, and yet somehow, someway, he still ended up seeing his share of wars. Once the battle is done, the heroes celebrate, and we get a closer look at this era's version of the spider suit. I gotta say, it's got some interesting things going on. You got a chest piece that looks like it could belong to Ben Reilly, an insectoid belt piece. And to really top it all off, Peter himself looks a lot older and haggard. That youthful energy that we saw in the first 2 issues is really starting to give out on him. Now, if you know anything about the original Secret War story, you'll remember that that's when Peter Parker first came in contact with the symbiote suit and brought it back to Earth with him. That happens here, but with a bit of a twist. You see, this alien planet that the heroes are on has some kind of dream machine on it, and when Peter goes to it while lamenting his place in life and how he always seems stretched too thin, the machine gives him the black suit. Which I must admit is pretty interesting to see a universe wherein Peter Parker literally wishes this into existence to try and help himself when it comes to fighting crime and balancing his personal life. Now, obviously, Peter's a little upset to have missed his wife giving birth, but you can bet he's double shocked when he realizes that she didn't give birth to one kid, it's twins, Benjamin and Claire. And maybe now's not the best time to have brought kids into the world. Obviously, Peter has to take care of Aunt May now more than ever, when MJ thinks perhaps they should put her in a nursing home, but now there's all the fear and hysteria surrounding the Cold War. Everyone feels like the end is nigh, and the superhero community reacted, well, maybe not the best way. You see, all the top-tier Avengers basically disappeared in hopes that it would de-escalate tensions between America and Russia. However, that didn't work at all. The Russians still launched a nuke at America anyway, and the only reason that it didn't take out an entire city was because the Vision was there to turn intangible and stop it. And that's not to say it still didn't make landfall in America, it's just instead of blowing up a major city, it blew up a piece of small-town America, which is now awash in radiation. Luckily, Parker Industries is there to try and sponge it all up. Yeah, wouldn't you know it, Peter Parker became a CEO in his own way in this universe. He even mended fences with his old mentor, Reed Richards. Pete's happy to have a friend, but at the same time, he says that Richards represents to him all the terrible things he could become, a man so obsessed with his work he pushed away all his friends, family, and loved ones. With all these new stresses and responsibilities, Peter ends up neglecting his family more and more, throwing himself deeper and deeper into fighting crime using the black suit until eventually Mary Jane puts her foot down. Spider-Man says that he never needed the suit to fight the good fight, and if it matters, he's just gonna go back to his classic red and blue costume. The real KO punch comes for our hero, though, when Mary Jane says that maybe Peter wouldn't neglect his family if Gwen was his wife. It's after that very uncomfortable argument, Spider-Man goes to clear his head, only to come face to face with a black suit wearing Spider-Man copycat with a gun. And again, if you know your Spider-Man stories, you can pretty much guess where this is going. The man in the suit turns out to be Kraven the Hunter, a villain that Peter doesn't even respect all that much. Only in this new universe, Kraven's whole reason for hunting Peter is a little different. It's actually a little Cold War inspired. He says that Spider-Man used to be a beautiful, amazing specimen, but he's slowly but surely slowing down. The world is getting to him, and perhaps it's better that Kraven just put him out of his misery now while he still can. And soon, too, before nuclear war could potentially kill them all. And from here, the story plays out pretty much like you remember it. Peter gets poisoned, he gets buried alive. Only how he escapes this predicament is a little different. You see, in his time of need, Peter is able to psychically call out to the black suit, which comes and finds him. Meaning that when he does dig his way out like Beatrix Kiddo, he essentially becomes something akin to a proto-Venom fueled entirely by rage. Spider-Man could very easily have killed Kraven too, were it not not for the intervention of Mary Jane, it seems that Peter was sure to give her a sonic weapon in case something like this should go down, proving that he does indeed plan ahead. This potentially lethal predicament serves as a major wake-up call for Peter that he needs to take the reign of his life and his family lest lose them forever. And what about Craven? Well, he's ready to end his own life just like he did in the pages of Craven's Last Hunt, only this time before he can pull the trigger, the black suit actually stops him. And so that was Spider-Man Life Story issue number 3, everybody. And again, if I didn't say it before, it bears repeating. This truly is a special moment in my comic reading life, getting to see Chip Zdarsky basically write his masterpiece in front of us. This issue especially does the almost insurmountable seeming task of, hey, let's distill all the best parts of Craven's Last Hunt, Secret Wars, and even a little Watchmen just for good measure. More than anything else, though, I think what this issue hits home is really the proof of concept of getting to see a Peter Parker grow up in real time. It's only the 80s and he's already haggard. There's no telling what the future holds for him at this rate. Add to that he's a father and there's no telling where this series could go in the end. All I know is that I'm super excited to see where it goes from here. Overall, I give this one another well-deserved 9 out of 10. This is great stuff.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, and I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out some of these other videos I have available from the channel. Then you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Cape Joel, so you're always up to speed on what I'm doing next. And hey, if you really like what I do, you might want to pick up a Cape Joel shirt. Yes, that's right, I have my own merch store over at TeePublic. Check out for great designs like my little Cape Man, stuff from the comic multiverse, fun stickers, in-jokes, we got it all over at the TeePublic store. You can check it out right now, and I will be sure to see you all again next time. Bye-bye.